All right. Did you at least get to hear what's going on in New York with Juan Soto?
I did see the Juan Soto, and if you guys look at our YouTube channel, which you're probably watching this on, I made a little video on it.
Which I didn't watch because I wanted this to be organic. I really wanted your thoughts on what's going on. So, Soto was talking to some reporters the other day, great stuff, and they had this wonderful little quote from him. It's definitely different. I had the best hitter in baseball hitting behind me. I was getting more attacked and more pitches in the strike zone, less intentional walks, and things like that. I was pitched differently last year. Okay. So everybody who saw this quote, who read this quote, is thinking that Juan Soto is unhappy with the New York Mets. I read this quote and I'm like, okay, what did he say that's different? What's wrong with what he said? He's completely honest, and it's exactly what's going on. So, what are your thoughts?
Okay, what are my thoughts? I think there's a couple things here. One, is everything you just said accurate? Yes, absolutely. He is it was exactly accurate. It is a analytical viewpoint of exactly what is happening. He had the greatest hitter in the world last year,
Second best.
arguably with Otani,
Yeah.
um, but he technically had a better season than Otani when you look at some numbers. Anyways, hitting right behind him, everything is working. Short porch in right field. I think it had a lot more to do with Yankee Stadium. Also, at the same time, there was a lot of really good things happening, and it worked really well for Juan Soto and became very rich by doing it.
Yeah.
This year has been different, and no matter what you do, unless you have Shohei Otani behind you, you don't have the greatest hitter in the world behind you. And you're not going to have like the same reaction. I don't care who it is behind you. It could be Mookie Betts, it could be Freddie Freeman, it could be you just listed Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah.
It's not the same as when Judge and Otani are hitting behind you. So things are going to be different. They're not going to have to pitch to you. They're going to pitch around you. They'd rather put you on base and face anybody behind you and see where it goes. I'd rather face Lindor. I'd rather face Pete Alonso. I'd rather face Nimmo, Vientos, Winker. It doesn't matter. It's not the same, and that's being totally honest. A couple things. So these are my real reactions on it. Is one, you are a $700 million man. Stop saying those things and
Yeah.
stop saying
Read
it.
the room.
Just don't say those things unless you're controlling the media, unless you do it to your own interview and your own publication. You're a $700 million person. You should have your own production team making your own videos. Don't say it to Mike Puma. Don't go out there to the New York media, to the New York Post, and say these things. That is not going to go well. The New York media and the New York Post in particular does an incredible job at taking your words and spinning it to exactly the story they want to tell. If you're killing the ball, it's they can spin it to a great story. If you're not, they're going to take it as you don't like it with the Mets. You need a better hitter behind you to hit, and
Yeah.
that's the problem I have with it. You control your words. You're not a reliever, the last man on the roster, and they don't care.
Right.
You're the man. Be the man. If you don't have anything great to say about the team right now and exactly what's happening right now, do not say it. Don't talk about the Yankees. Don't talk about Aaron Judge. Don't talk about anything. Say, hey, Aaron Judge is a great hitter. It was great, incredible hitting in front of the greatest hitter of all time. I've got like the incredible hitters behind me right now. I've got Lindor right in front of me. I've got Pete Alonso right behind me. Yes, I am getting pitched a little differently, and it's hard for me to adjust. I'm swinging at some other pitches that I probably normally wouldn't be swinging at. I need to do a better job at that. But man, I love hitting in front of Pete Alonso. That's the quote. If you
Right.
and it's saying the same thing, but you got to talk about your teammates and saying they're studs. You can't just mention the dude right across the street. And that's the point of contention we all had with him leaving the Yankees was, dude, you're leaving the greatest hitter, like right, had the one of the best seasons ever right in front, right behind you, and you're leaving that. And you're leaving Yankee Stadium in the short porch, and everybody loved you for the Mets of all teams.
Right.
And so it just walks right into a giant firestorm. Like you walked into a firestorm. Everything he said was accurate and right. And like a whole lot of baseball guys are making, dude, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But the problem is the media side is they're gonna just churn it. and churn it and churn it and just like, dude, if you have another week of struggle, they're start asking your other teammates about that. That's the problem. Is
Right.
when they have to go to Pete Alonso and say, wait, like, hey, like, what do you think about this? That's the problem, and they're going to do it because that's what they do. And if I always say this, especially in New York media, if you don't have anything great to say about your teammates and what's happening to you, then don't say it.
But I don't think he said anything against his teammates. I mean, I
He
think,
didn't.
yeah,
That's the thing about it. He
right.
didn't. It's just with that quote, it's so easy to say, okay, well, Pete Alonso, you're not the greatest teammate in the world, and they want to pitch to you, so like you're not doing your job. And
Yeah.
it's a stupid, it doesn't make sense, but they does at the same time. And so
Right.
it's something they can infer that you didn't say, but they can infer that you meant it.
Well, and that's the whole thing. It's inference. You know, you have all these guys on WFAN here in New York, and most of them are Yankee fans, and they were pissed off anyway that Soto left because at the end of the day, sports reporters, sports broadcasters, what are we? We're
Fans.
sports fans. Okay, so if you're a Yankee fan, like the guy in the afternoon drive in New York, excuse me, the midday show in New York. He's sitting there and he's a Yankee fan. He's like, "Oh, see, he's saying that a Judge is the best player in the best hitter in baseball. Of course, he misses the Yankees." That's not what he said. You're pissed off that he left, and you're trying to build a narrative that Soto wants to be a Yankee and he made a mistake. Soto never said anything like that. He was as honest as he could possibly be. And if you're sitting there thinking that it was a slight on anybody else, I personally don't take it as a slight. I don't think it's a slight on Pete Alonso. And I bet you in close quarters, if you ask Pete Alonso, what did you think? He would probably say, I don't give a damn what Juan Soto said. I'm hitting 365 with 5 home runs and 21 RBIs. I've got the highest OPS plus in slugging in the National League. What do I care what Judge is doing across the way? But it's that BS narrative that the New York sports reporting team wants to get out there to get more clicks. I guarantee you Soto does not, well, I can't guarantee anything, but I don't think that after 15 games, Juan Soto is saying, damn, I made a mistake signing here.
I just don't. Here's what I don't understand is why would you say that? Why would you say these things? Because here's the reality of it, right? Yes, you had the greatest hitter in baseball hitting behind you, but you're saying you got pitched differently because of that. Well, right now the guy behind you has basically the same stats as that guy you're talking about.
Because
7 home runs for Judge, 5 for Pete Alonso, 21 RBIs, 21 RBIs. Hits are 27 to 23, but there's also a gap in the bats. There's 3 gap in the bats. There's OPS is 1,300 to 1,200.
yeah.
Like there are the data numbers are like, dude, like Alonso's killing it behind you.
Because it's true. They are pitching to him differently. And that's the honest to God truth. Because if you look at
and just sit there and stop swinging at it. Then
right.
stop swinging at it. Like the big thing you get signed for is how your plate discipline is so amazing. Well, you know, if they're pitching at you differently and they're throwing you balls outside the zone, you're swinging at it. It kind of sounds like that's your fault, dude. Like,
right. And I think a lot of that has to do with being a $700 million player. Now you put the pressure on yourself that now, oh, I have to be the guy because I am the big guy on the team. But if you look at the actual numbers, Will Salmon of The Athletic got it where it's of the players who've seen at least 100 pitches with runners on, Soto is seeing pitches in the strike zone 16% of the time. Okay, so fantastic. Use your plate discipline and take the walk.
and let
then
Alonso come up.
let Pete Alonso earn his $30 million a year, which he is doing. And Pete Alonso right now is happier than a pig in poop because he knows, oh, I'm going to opt out at the end of the year and somebody's going to give me big money because they see that, hey, I can handle it. And one more thing before I get back to this, and I don't want to forget this. 10 years ago when sabermetrics were a much bigger thing than they are now, in the public view, and everybody was saying to me, oh, protection isn't a real thing. If you look at the stats, bullshit. Now we can see hands down that protection in the lineup means something. So for all you sabermetricians out there, there's a reason why, Bill James doesn't have his own talk show.
So here's the question. DJ LeMahieu was the starting lineup for the Yankees for some of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was the number 1 leadoff guy. Like whatever, there were some guys, but
right.
Would you rather have him or Lindor?
I'd rather have Lindor.
So he has
Obviously.
a better hitter hitting in front of him.
Right.
Okay, I get it. He doesn't have Aaron Judge hitting behind him, but he's got a guy statistically that's right now the same.
Yeah.
And then he's got a better guy after that, right? So he's got a better guy in Nimmo that, or maybe not. Nimmo's not swinging it the same, but
Well, no,
better. I
you
would
had
take Nimmo over Rizzo probably at that point. And
Stanton.
Rizzo wasn't healthy. Oh, you had Stanton, but that's the thing about it though. Like those 1, 2, 3, like where you're in the middle of that lineup, what really affects pitchers. That's arguably probably those 1, 2, 3 on the Moneyball aggregate is better than the Yankees 1, 2, 3 last year. It's just that you're the kind of the weak point right now in the middle. I get it. Lindor's not having the MVP style season he had last year, but he's also wasn't having that at this point in the season either.
Yeah.
But also Alonso wasn't at this point in last year either. So Alonso's like way above what he did. It's just the rest of the lineup isn't really producing. Like Nimmo and Vientos really aren't. If those guys were hitting, that would change everything. And don't forget, everybody, I said Vientos, don't sit there and mark on your calendars. Vientos is the greatest hitter of all time, and he needs to be hitting behind Alonso, behind Soto. And he's just as good as Alonso. Look at the numbers right now, people. Wake up, open your eyes. That's called a sophomore slump. That happens. That's adjustments. That needs he's going to be a good hitter, just not this year. Like it's going to take a little time. And that's the reality. I got chewed out by Mets fans nonstop for saying the obvious thing that they just wouldn't say is Mark Vientos is not Pete Alonso.
No.
That's why you needed to sign Pete Alonso. Think about this lineup where they'd be out without Pete Alonso right now. They would be trash.
They would be sub 500 without a doubt.
Yes.
And guess what? They're going to change the way they pitch to Soto eventually, because if you keep putting Soto on and Pete Alonso is making you pay, you're going to end up facing Soto so that you don't give up an extra run.
And then they're going to change how they pitch to Pete Alonso because they have to. And that's the thing. And it's going to be harder on Alonso, and it's going to become on Vientos and Nimmo or Winker or somebody to step up and be that guy behind Alonso, because right now Alonso's carrying this whole team.
Yeah. And let's not forget one thing. It has been abnormally cold in New York. I don't care who you are. It is tough to play baseball in April when it is cold. They've been in Minnesota. They've been in New York a few times. I mean, that's not easy. They showed a picture. I don't know. I know you're always on Twitter, but I saw a picture on Twitter the other day of Juan Soto just looking absolutely miserable. And of course, all the Yankee fans like, oh, look, he misses Judge. How about the fact that he's in Minnesota? He's freezing his ass off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's wearing one of those.
Could have something to do with it.
Yeah, he's wearing one of those. What do you call those masks that you put where all you see is your eyes? He's wearing one of those while he's playing baseball. He's freezing.
Yeah, it's going to affect you a little bit, especially hitting.
Yeah, absolutely. So for you Mets fans that you're worried about Juan Soto, don't worry. For all you Yankee fans, enjoy the fact that you have a pretty good team. Stop sitting there and worrying about I mean, I've never seen anything like this where Yankee fans are paying so much attention to Mets fans. Guess what? It's an even playing field finally. You are no longer big brother. The Mets are not little brother. I'm not saying that the Mets are big brother. That would be absurd for me to say. But you're kind of on an even plane. So shut up. Enjoy the fact that you have, quote unquote, the best hitter in baseball and be done with it. Any thoughts?
I completely agree with you. Shut the hell up. Like start focusing on your team.
Yeah,
we're focused on your team. You got a good team. You guys are killing it right now. But like, there's some pretty dang good competition right now in the AL East. Like, focus on that. Focus on your team. Let Soto be Soto. Who cares? But like, you're not like significantly better than the Blue Jays right now. So. Yeah. And the Red Sox will be a better team once they actually start hitting, and the Orioles will be a better team once they start figuring all of it out. But you're going to be like, you're a good team right now, but a lot of that good team is started against the Brewers, and like without that point differential, like the run differential against the Brewers, you'd have probably a worse run differential than the Rays. Yeah. So let's lock that in. And like, the Red Sox have a -11 run differential and they still have 500. They're a better team. Like they are going to play better baseball. So be ready for better competition. Focus on yourself.
That's it. Bottom line. And last thing on this whole Mets Yankees thing, I have seen way too many players come to the New York Mets after signing a big deal and feeling like, oh, I've got to press. I've got to be the guy. It happened with Mike Piazza. It happened with Lindor, and it's happening with Soto. It takes a little while. I don't know why it happens like that with the Mets. Maybe because they still believe that they're little brother, and I have to be the one to elevate them. It'll be just fine. I'm not worried about Juan Soto by any stretch of the imagination.
I think a lot of times it's because that player that they sign, they don't have like another guy on that same level. They don't have another guy quite there. So like when they sign a guy like or like when they first signed a guy like Lindor, he was pressing
Yeah,
big time. When they signed a guy like Soto, he's pressing a little bit because he was like, all right, well his comps are Judge and Ohtani. Like,
right.
of course, there's no Judge and Ohtani, but like at the end of the day, just be Washington Nationals, Soto, be you. The U wasn't trying to rise yourself up to another level at the Yankee. The U was just great plate discipline, took a walk, base hit, and then hit a bomb. I honestly think a lot of it has to do with cold and it has to do with Yankee Stadium. Like that's a different monster. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you sign somebody out of Yankee Stadium, it's a wholly different beast. That right field wall, like it's something that is just it plays so much shorter than what the number even is.
If you asked me before the season, will Juan Soto have 40 home runs again? I'll say no, absolutely
No,
not. That's not
no,
his game. He is
nope.
an on base machine. He is a hitting machine. He will get his home runs. He's good enough to hit home runs anytime he wants, but he's got plate discipline. He's not going up there hacking, trying to go deep every time. So, Mets fans, baseball fans, stop pretending that Juan Soto is somebody that he's not. We know what we got in Juan Soto. You know what he is. He is, like you said, Nationals and Padres Juan Soto. He's not Yankees Juan Soto. Never
He
will
should be
be.
in the 30s. He'll be in the 30s, like, and that's exactly what you should expect out of him.
Yeah, 400 on base percentage. He'll hit 280. He'll get you 33 home runs. And if Lindor can wake up, he'll get like 90 RBIs. Lindor, by the way, is really scaring me, not because of what he's doing at the plate, but he has been a butcher on defense this year. And I've never seen him do that. And that's the scary part for the Mets.
Yeah.